a lot of exciting things. Let me go ahead and get this.
Recording in progress.
Wonderful. Hey, my name is Chuck Hansen. I'm one of the founders of iHub Global, and it's my pleasure to have you with us here today as we kind of go through some preliminary steps into the introduction of iHub Global 2.0. And this is just a natural progression that we're going through, the small pivots that we're making to make the plan even better for all of you, for all of us. I mean, just overall better. So what you're going to hear today, you're going to hear from Rick Cotton. Rick's a little under the weather, but he's agreed to come out of his cocoon and come over here and talk to you. And number one, reassure you that everything we're doing is for your benefit. And that's just how we roll with this whole thing. So, Rick, why don't I turn the call over to you? And then I know you want to turn it over to Eric, and then we'll go through some other things. So how's that, buddy?
Sounds good, Chuck. Thank you, sir. Hey, we got a great crowd here today. Exciting stuff. I'm going to share, like Chuck said, some preliminary stuff, and then I'm going to ask Eric, our CIO, to come in and just really start to dig in again to the app, because everything that we do in iHub 2.0 is going to revolve around the software. We are becoming a SaaS model, which means software as a service. That's what we're going to sell as a company, as a software to help you guys build your business. There's been a lot of cycles, a lot of investment, and some real know-how to build what we believe by far is the best application in the marketplace. And I think when you guys see some of this virtual assessments to give away now what we call the free model, the free deployment model, it's really a game changer. It's really a game changer. A lot of people have asked me, well, why are we making this pivot? Why are we doing this? And here's the big reason, guys. Our growth is phenomenal, right? We're at 30,000 plus affiliates. We'll be at 100,000 affiliates before the end of August. We could be at 1 million affiliates before the year's out. And I've done this a few times, and I've seen my own companies struggle with growth and almost implode. I know of a lot of companies that have opportunity around it that have imploded because of growth. We're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. So by having a free deployment model, we get to control where the miners go. We get to work through our VIPs. We get to work through you guys as leaders and deploy them to the best addresses. And at the end of the day, that's why iHub Global is here, is we're here to mine HNT. That's why you guys are here as an affiliate of iHub Global. You're here to mine HNT. We drank the Kool-Aid. We believe in what Helium's doing. We're a part of it. We're a huge part of it. We're the fastest growing group in all of Helium. And so that's what our goal is to help you guys do that successfully. We talk a lot about our models, and our models have done really, really well. And you guys have continued to duplicate those models with a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of work across the United States into Canada and even other parts of the world. But now we've just made it a lot easier that really anybody can do this. So we're going to spend a little time more on the app because we're going into beta test this week. So our VIPs, our advisory board, we'll be on a call with them tomorrow, and they're going to be beta testing as we go towards our launch, I believe, on the Saturday the 17th. So, but before we do that, let me kind of share my screen. I'm going to share just a few slides with you guys. Let me know if you guys can see my screen okay here. Chuck, can you see my screen?
Yeah, bud.
Okay, good deal. All right. So again, iHub Global, we are now really focused on Helium Track. That is our software application. You're going to see our website change. You're going to see a lot of changes as we make this pivot. Now, this pivot really is quite a ways out. And there's a reason that we did this and we announced it now. We wanted you guys to have complete clarity of what we're doing. But we're really now till August. We're going to continue to be deploying the miners that have been purchased, have been pre-purchased, our VIP. Now, we hope to get out before August, but we're saying August. Could all be out by the end of July. That's what we'd love to see happen. And from that point forward, whatever that date is, we're going to be going into our free deployment into a hosted model, okay? That means that iHub's going to own these miners, and we're going to control them and deploy them on your behalf, okay? There's going to be a slight adjustment in the hosting program, because now we are the host. Like you guys have a hosting program right now. You can take your miner and you can host it out. You can earn 50% owner commission, and the host gets 10%. Many of you guys have done that. Some of you guys haven't focused on that as much. You focus more about building the affiliate network. Well, the miners that are out in the field right now, there's no changes to those. They'll also always be coded the way that they're coded. So if you have orders that you're going to be receiving from now till August, or you have orders that have already been fulfilled, you have VIP orders, you can choose to keep those orders intact, or you can cancel those orders. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted you guys to have full visibility. Is if you want to wait for that free deployment, you're more than welcome to do that. We will refund you. There's not a problem with it at all. And we want to give you the ability to do that. In fact, on today's Getting Started training tonight, we're going to show you exactly how you do that now in your back office. It's already there. So you can request a refund. You can change a 6-pack to a single order and so forth. So we're going to show you guys tonight how to do that. Okay. But all the orders that have been placed so far and are going to be fulfilled are exactly the same. Nothing changes in the software. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. So now after August into the future, all miners will be deployed for free. Now there'll be a shipping and handling charge, maybe an address insertion fee to the actual host. But in essence, the miners are going to go out for free.
Man, I'm on the Zoom meeting. Can I call you?
There we go. Thanks, guys. And iHub will be hosting the miners out, and the host will start at 10%. Okay, I'm not going to give you full visibility into the comp changes today. We're not ready yet, and so we ask you guys to be patient with us. I know there's a lot of pressure on us to do that, but we're not going to do it prematurely. We're running things through legal. We're going through our advisory board. We're going through our VIPs. We kind of know where we're going. We're really excited to roll it out to you guys, but it's not there yet. And again, nothing changes for quite some time now. We just wanted you guys to have visibility where we're going and give you a chance to start to use this application as we roll it out, okay, the software. So the iHub miners will go out, hosted from iHub. They'll start at 10%. The referral commission will be the same. It'll be 10%. So if Chuck hosts refers me and I get a miner and I get deployment from the company because I got a good address, then I'm going to get that miner. I'm going to start at 10% as the host, and Chuck's going to get 10% as the referrer, okay? Now, something different in this new plan is every time you do that, every time Chuck deploys a miner that's basically deployed but for free, it qualifies Chuck in the comp plan. Okay, and our hosting program right now does not. So it's going to be a lot easier to qualify through the compensation plan with the new model. The codes, the match, nothing changes. Okay, in fact, it might even be enhanced, okay? But you have to stay tuned, okay? Our goal is to make this better and better and better in this pivot, and I think you guys are going to be really, really excited about it as we roll it out. So the codes, the match, nothing changes in the affiliate program. The only thing that we're tweaking is that hosting program because now we technically own the miners and we're hosting it out to the field. And we're going to cut that pie up a little bit differently than we have traditionally with the miners that you guys have been hosting in the field, which you're still allowed to do. And I would recommend that you hold on to your miners. Again, you guys can cancel those orders. There's not a problem with it at all. Some of you guys have done that and they're going to wait for the free deployment. That's fine. But when you hold those miners, those miners will always be coded to that 50% owner commission that you have right now. And so you can continue to host those miners. And then when a free miner gets deployed to that address because they requested one and they get moved up to the deployment board, you can take that miner back because now there's a new free one and you can go deploy it again. So having your own miners is a huge benefit, we believe. And when you have the opportunity to make that decision, it's because it's a business decision that you need to make. Okay. So in the next few weeks, we'll have a detailed comp plan, PDF, some tools. We'll be on the beta test probably before the end of the week on the Helium Track, and future deployment of miners starting, and it will be driven all through Helium Track. Okay. And when you guys see again the virtual mining assessment you're going to see today, I think you'll start to understand how this is all going to come together. There'll be this huge deployment board. Then we get all these thousands of miners that we're going to be deploying every week and every month. Those top addresses that you guys are going to be driving are going to get the miners, okay? And we're going to show you how to drive up that board. Even if you don't have a great address, you can still build a 6-pack right in the software, a virtual 6-pack, and they can all be deployed at once. So very, very powerful stuff, game-changing stuff. We're very excited about it. And so with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to give it over to the guy that's much smarter than I am. He's done a great job working and collaborating together with our team. And so, Eric, I'm going to turn it to you, let you share your screen, brother, and walk us through that virtual mining assessment.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rick. First of all, thank you, everyone, for joining us on this Tuesday evening. I just want to start off by reiterating how hard at work everyone at iHub is to make things happen, from the new compensation plan to the new software, improving processes. Everyone is doing their part and working around the clock to improve this in every possible way. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. We got some updates probably from last time you guys have seen, if you have seen a demo. So I'll share my screen with you guys here. And just let me know, give me a thumbs up if you guys can see my screen.
We're good.
All right, excellent. So some of the things that we've been really working on is trying to clean up and make this very intuitive and easy to use. We've done a lot of work on the mobile view. So a lot of the times you guys are going to be out in the field. You're going to need to be doing stuff on your phone, right? You're not always going to be at your computer. So it's very important that this app works very smoothly and it has all the full functionality that you guys are going to need while you're driving around, visiting, potential prospects, being able to work for you guys 24/7, not just when you're sitting behind a screen and then figuring out what to do. You guys will have this kind of on your phones and working perfectly. So with that said, you'll see some updates. We went ahead and cleaned it up a lot. We've pushed everything over here to the side panel, give you a nice big map, a nice big view. And we've gone ahead and put some of the main features right up here, kind of as buttons. So to really point them out, make it simple for you guys, looking at it on a mobile view, you guys will get a better idea of what this will look like. And you'll see that none of this functionality has changed, right? You have every single possible function, working within the map, being able to view hotspots, being able to run intelligence reports right there. So everything is beautifully working. It took a lot of effort on our part to make sure that this all functions nicely. So we have all that going here. And I do want to just kind of go over the planning of hotspots again. I'm gonna jump back into our desktop view here. All right. And so ideally, and this is kind of the way that I go about it. I just want to just run through it so you have something in mind when you guys do get the app. And I believe that our official launch date, which we are on track to do as of this moment, is July 17th. And that's when we plan to launch this to the community. And speaking of which, the way it's going to work, another thing that we've been hard at work on is we understand you guys have your back office accounts. We understand that you have your commission logins. The last thing we wanted you guys to have to do is have a third account, right, to manage and all of that. So what we've done is we worked closely with John and the existing team to make sure that your iHub back office logins will work with Helium Track. So you don't need to manage another set of logins, emails, password updates. It will just work. And so we want to kind of streamline that for you guys so that, again, less confusion, less mistakes, and more execution. So with that said, I just want to go over the planning of hotspots and kind of what we've done. And so ideally, the first step is thinking about everyone that you know, right? You want to get a list of addresses. Who can you approach? Who's a potential prospect? And so you build a list. And however you build that list, whether it's on a notepad and paper and pencil, or you use an Excel spreadsheet, or however it is written on your phone, you want to build that list. That's going to be your first step into taking action within Helium Track. And so once you have your list, you want to go ahead and map that out. So you're going to take that list and you're going to use our Hotspot Planner, and you're going to get all of your planned hotspots out. And the way you do that is you're going to go ahead, you're going to plan a hotspot. You're going to click on this purple button here. You can either drop a pin. So, if you know a general proximity of a location, let's say your friend owns a store and you know where that store is, you're not quite sure the address, you can look it up, or you can just drop that pin. And so that'll give you the ability to drag that around. And so, for example, here's a great location. And so that's really the other thing is that, using Helium Track, what you're looking for is you want to have, you want to get into your own res. Ideally, you can share a hexagon with other people. But of course, when you go ahead and drop that marker, so let's say, I'm going to do that here. I'm going to give it a name. I'll say potential hotspot placement. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. And so I go ahead and click on it. I see, great, no one's within that radius. And, in my sweet spot, which is this green area here, I'm hitting all these other hotspots. So my hotspot's going to be talking to all these other hotspots, witnessing it, getting beacons out. And, once you kind of have an idea, and again, this is just looking at your general region, looking for potential places. So, if you find these little gaps, that look like this, these are great placements. The next step, as far as my decision process would be, okay, who can I approach within that location? Obviously, it's not easy to go and just start selling, cold selling, but if there's a, potential a lot of businesses there that you might be comfortable going in and, pitching and stuff like that. So these are great ways of doing it. But ideally, you start with your list, you go ahead and you can add all those hotspots, you can enter the addresses, you can give it a name, and you go ahead and start building your list. And so you're going to have all these little purple dots. And then, we have our intelligence feature, which is going to tell you the potential of those locations. So I'm going to click on this. I can click up right up here on the blue button, intelligence, or I can click on this on the map. Both of them will run the same thing. And I'll see, wow, I got a really great score here. And again, right now what we're doing is we're perfecting our intelligence to take all this data and to sum it up into one final score for you guys. So not only will you won't have to go and click on each one and keep track of what scores they have. We're going to give you, actually, it's going to be here in your planned hotspots. So under my hotspots, planned hotspots, once you plan out all your hotspots, you actually will have a list of scores right here. So it's literally going to sort it out for you and say, well, you put down, 50 locations. Here's your top 10 locations. Here's your top 20 locations. That decision-making process is eliminated for you. So your job is to go out, get those prospects, get those addresses, talk to your friends, family, and get them into the app and let the app go to work for you. The next step, obviously, once you know who you're going to approach, is we got to give you some good tools to go out and explain to these potential prospects that they have a great location, right? They have an opportunity in front of them that is, that they definitely shouldn't pass up. I know I wouldn't. So with that said, going back here, we're going to have this send report feature. Now, some of this terminology might change. We're still tweaking things. This is all new. We're working on the fly very quickly to get this out to you guys. And so this is going to link to the mining assessment. But ideally, what you'll do is you're going to click on a location, right, that you plan. So let's click on a purple one. And you're going to go ahead and click send report, right? So you know that this might be, let's say it's John Joe's house, right? And so you're going to click on John Joe and you're going to click send report. What that's actually going to do is it's going to open a window and it's going to go ahead and give you kind of an overview. And you're going to be able to preview that report, and we'll show you what that report is starting to look like. So you're going to say, okay, I want to see what he's going to receive, right? I need to, I want to know what exactly is a report going to have. So with that, you'll be able to email that report to him. You'll be able to send it as a text message, or you'll be able to print it out as a PDF right from without even leaving this page. But when you preview that report and when they receive that report, whether they're getting it on their phone in a link, which again, we did a lot of work on the mobile side, because at the end of the day, probably I would say 70 to 75% of people are going to be checking their emails and their texts on their phone, right? So we want to make sure that that report is perfect. So I'll show you what that report looks like. And so this is what it looks like on a desktop. And again, this is kind of just an initial start to that report. And there's going to be 4 steps. So not only is this going to send them a mining assessment report, and we'll go over this in just a second, but it's actually going to push them through the process that you normally would have, right? As far as getting them signed up, having them request their hotspot, and then, starting their education and the next steps. So from here, this is literally, I would receive this on my phone, and let's take a look at what that looks like on mobile, just so you guys also have an idea. Here's iPhone X. Okay, so we got a little work to do up here, obviously, but overall, you can see how everything adjusted. You have your 4 steps, and let's go over the information that they're going to see, right? Now, again, this may change. We're perfecting, we're testing, we're getting feedback. So this is a general idea. It is functioning. So we have the report, who it's created for, and the location and who referred. So obviously this would be you, right? And we'll put your contact information in here so that there's no confusion. If they don't have your contact information offhand, or maybe they wrote it down somewhere, but they left it at home, whatever it is, when they get that report to their phone, they're going to know exactly who to call, reach out to, say, hey, guess what? I saw the report. I'm excited. Should I go ahead and do this? They might ask some questions. You want to push them along this process. You want to get them to move to the next step. So let's go, just for the sake of the demonstration, back to the desktop view. So the first step is going to be them getting their report, and here's their score, right? So we ranked, and that's kind of going back to what we discussed, is we want to take all that intelligence data, right? All those individual progress bars, those scores, those percentages, we want to sum it up into one final score. And we can think of it 1 out of 10, right? It might be a 9.5, might be a 6.2. And so with this gauge, actually, it changes color. So if I refresh the page, you'll kind of see it kind of just spin off there. But overall, there probably will be some threshold of, if a score doesn't, if a location doesn't meet a certain score, there may be some other actions that might need to be taken. I don't know exactly yet, but we'll keep you posted on that. And we'll give them a message too, as far as their score. So congratulations. This is an excellent score. Your location has a score of 9.5 out of 10. That's really good. They're going to have 24 hours to go ahead and start this process. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of these countdown timers that create urgency. This isn't a bluff. This is going to actually expire for them to do this. So it's your job to let them know that this is their opportunity. This is their window, their spot, that location that you went ahead, you planned it, you sent it to them, and now it's their turn to take action. You want to make sure that you push them along that process. So with that said, the next step is to create a free iHub account and to request a free miner. There's going to be another call to action right here. We're going to do our best to try to, push them along these steps. We're going to give them some information. Now, again, obviously, please don't look at these numbers. This is the actual price of HNT at the moment. But what we want to do is we want to take this assessment report and this score, this intelligence score, and turn it into dollars and cents, right? We wanted to make it something tangible for your prospects so that they can really understand, wow, this is a great software that has actually done all the work and is outputting. We're probably going to have it as a range. And again, I don't want to get into too much detail because things may change, but we're doing our best to make it as best as possible. But maybe say, with all the intelligence that we've gathered and the hotspots around your area and everything else that's going on, you have the potential to generate between, let's say, 75 and 100 HNT per month. Let's just throw a number out there. So now they kind of have a range. We don't want to stick them to an expectation. We don't want to give false hope or promises, but we do want to give them something tangible that they understand. And so with that said, we can take the price of HNT currently, multiply it by the actual intelligence potential of HNT, and give them some sort of range of dollars. Now, again, don't look at these figures. It might say, based off of our projections, you have the potential to make between $1,200 and $1,500 a month in HNT. But guess what? That's powerful. That's really showing them, all the data that was collected, the intelligence that was run, taking the current price of HNT, what they could possibly be generating in HNT per month, and giving them a dollar value or range. I mean, that's your mortgage, right? That could be your mortgage. That could be your car insurance payment. That's the way to sell. And so with that said, breaking this down to them, making it understandable, digestible, we want to push them to the next step. This is not enough of a call to action. We're going to make it nice and big. It's going to pop. It's going to be, go ahead and get started. And so they're going to move on to the next step. And again, we didn't finish with these views. This is actually going to be done this week. And what it will do is it's actually going to push them along this process and kind of get them through. So just to go over the steps, they're going to have their free assessment. It's going to translate things for them. It's going to make it understandable. The next step is actually not going to be request a hotspot. It's going to be sign up a free iHub account. This step is going to be request your hotspot. And then the last step might be some education or congratulations. Get started by, by putting in your own addresses or the people that and literally start pushing them, getting that continuity in there, start pushing them along the process of what you just did for them. But now they have the tools to do it, right? It wasn't, them starting out from scratch, finding the addresses, making those phone calls. Well, that still may be required a little bit of initial introduction. But, once people see the power of the assessment tool, I think that we should be able, they now have the utility to go ahead and push this continuity, right, to get other people out there. So that's where we're at with the assessment report. It's coming along great. We're very happy with it. And what else do we got for you? Oh, so again, like we said, everyone's existing iHub back office accounts are just going to work. There's going to be no action required. You won't have to, sign up or verify anything. It will just work. But with that, we are also connecting to the commission back office. So we're now connecting to iHub's marketing back office, and simultaneously now, I got Brandon over here working on it. You might hear him clicking away. we're going to connect to the commission back office, and we're automatically going to pull your hotspot data, meaning that from the second that you literally log in, which has no action required on your part, it's going to pull in all your existing hotspots if you have any. It's going to show you everything retroactively, meaning it's going to go back from day one and show you all the stats, all of the earnings and performance and everything for your hotspots that are in there. So to get your actual live hotspots, so you got to put in your planned hotspots, but to get your actual hotspots that you're getting commissions on right now, you don't have to do anything. There's no linking, there's nothing. And also with that said, there's nothing that you're going to have to do. Our monitoring tools are going to start get activated immediately. So pretty much from the second you log in, we pull in your hotspots, we load up that commission data, we show you everything you need and want to see about your existing hotspots, as well as we're going to start monitoring them for you, meaning that, if someone comes in within your 300-meter radius, if something is affecting the performance of, the earnings of your hotspot, we're going to know, before you do probably, even though you might be checking it all day, like we all do, we're going to know the second that there's some variation, an increased performance, a decreased performance. We're going to know, whether your hotspot is relayed or pretty much anything that you're going to want to know is going to be monitored, and you'll be notified within about 15 minutes. So, we give it about 15 minutes or so to make sure, if it's offline, we want to make sure it's actually offline. Sometimes, you might just have an interim connection period or Wi-Fi goes out, whatever it may be. We don't want to slam you with false notifications. So we really want to make sure that we're giving you accurate data. I think that's pretty much where we're at. Just a quick other update, just some quick changes that we did do. We have our address here, so you can search any address. So obviously, let's see. By the way, here you don't have to put an exact address. You can put in a store. So I could put in like Chipotle, okay? And it'll find me all the Chipotles in there. You don't have to put an exact address. You can put in businesses. You can put in cross streets. You can put in pretty much anything that Google Maps has in it. We connect to Google Maps and we pull so you could just type the name of a place. So there's a Chipotle right there. Again, this is a 15-mile radius. So all of these numbers here on the right side are representing what we are looking at as far as our radius goes. So if you want to drill down a little deeper, you change your radius, you'll see all these numbers update here. You'll see the growth update. You'll see all the hotspots that are here update. And so that's one thing. But what we did do is this duration, this time frame used to be found down here under hotspots. What we're actually doing, just so you guys have a heads up, and I'll wrap it up with this, is we have two separate boxes. One is hotspots. Hotspots is other people's hotspots. You also have my hotspots. We're actually merging this all into one box that you're going to be able to switch through. And the reason why is because we're now with this side panel, we're kind of dragging down here. We don't want to have you guys going up and down and up and down. We want to give you a good user experience. So we took the time frame, moved it up here, which makes the most sense, right? You got your location, you got your radius, you drill down and you want to see all of these hotspots within a 5-mile radius. I want to know what happened with them in the last 14 days. I go ahead and I click that, and it updates all the data here. We also turn the map settings from a drop-down menu into a modal window, so it's kind of overlays. Very nice. And again, on mobile, everything that you'd expect to work on mobile is perfectly working as well. So you got your map settings. You can change everything in here. You can get your building data. And just to let you guys know that hopefully my goal, along with getting the app done on time, perfectly working for you guys, I'm going to spend a couple days building out a full documentation, meaning that a full knowledge base. You'll be able to type in, how do I plan a hotspot? How do I, change a time frame? How do I this? How do I that? And you'll have a full library of answered questions. One other thing that we've discussed is we really want to get as much support to you guys as possible. So we'll be putting all the necessary measures in place to make sure that if there is an issue or something is not working right, that you have the right channels to do that. And I will also be making custom demonstration videos. So I will go through a ton of different scenarios that you might find yourself in and how to handle them. So we're going to do everything we can, not only to deliver an amazing app that gives you all the data you need to see, that outperforms any other application out there, that sells for you, that has amazing support, but we're gonna go through all of those possible situations, and so we're gonna really give you an all-in-one solution. So we're not gonna stop until it's perfect. And with that said, thank you guys for your time.
Great job, Eric. Fantastic job, and congratulations to you and Brandon and John for making this all happen. It's happened at light speed. I don't think people realize that, but exciting stuff. I'll just get a couple of highlights that I love about what we're building out here, guys. And Eric mentioned a little bit. We're going to continue to deep dive into this because it's going to be such a big part of what we're doing in the future of our business, especially on this new model. And there'll be a deployment board in here where you can actually see your hotspots that are requested to go out, right? And there's going to be things like Eric said. But what if you just don't make the cut? You got a 7.8, but the average hotspot being deployed is at 9+. Well, what do? We're going to show you guys how you can group some other and plant some other hotspots right in that area to drive it up. So now maybe it's not one hotspot getting deployed, it's 2 hotspots. And so we're going to teach you how to get height and maybe even use some antennas to drive up the board. So even if your location, your real estate doesn't qualify, this software now allows you to qualify it and make it even better and better and better. And as we talked about a lot, you can see again what's happening in the big cities as there's just hotspot is dumping upon hotspot. They're not making what they used to. The low-hanging fruit is not the low-hanging fruit anymore. We really are small town America, small town Canada, small town globe. We really believe that that's the last frontier, and that's where we're really going to have the longest run at this. And so we want you guys to be able to go into these virgin territories and group hotspots, plan 6 hotspots together, and drive them directly up the board and get them all deployed at once. So exciting stuff. There will be a light version and a pro version. So everybody's going to get a light version of the software for free. And then an upgraded version, the price is going to be $299 per year. It's a license. Okay. It's optional. You don't have to have that to receive hotspots or to work the business, but it's an option. Obviously a huge advantage if you do have the software. But in that light version, we're actually going to give away some free assessments as well. And I want to kind of future pace that because it's going to make sense when we do roll out the compensation plan, how these virtual assessments are going to actually take part in our daily method of operation and what we're doing out there. So great stuff, Eric. I don't know, you're scrolling around there. Just a couple more things you want to show us here? You're muted, buddy. You're muted, Eric.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I was just keeping people's eyes busy while you're talking.
All right, good stuff. So you can see that there's a lot of rich features we're not even talking about yet, but exciting stuff. So guys, thank you for your patience as we make this pivot, try to understand why we're doing it. It's a great move for iHub. It's a great move for you guys. This is also going to protect real estate. One thing that we are not going to do is drop hotspots on other iHub members, okay? So when we talk about guarding that real estate for 24 hours in that assessment, that's really going to guard that real estate for 24 hours. Nobody else is going to be able to drop a pin in that area and interfere for 24 hours. Then that pin's going to come off and that area is going to be available again. So we're going to protect. We're actually going to be working with Helium, hopefully, to get them to do something similar because we can't protect from the rest of the field, but we can protect your business as we do this, as we deploy this. So good stuff. So Chuck, with that, I think we gave him enough for today, but more coming on Thursday. Back to you, Chuck.
Oh, good. Thank you. I'm always amazed when Eric sits there and goes through all of that, all of the intelligence that has now and really at our fingertips, right? I mean, these things you couldn't have figured out on your own, no matter what you had. And now you've got it with the click of a button and send a report to somebody. I mean, how powerful is that? So, all of these changes, guys, I just want to reiterate what Rick said, and that is, everything is done for the benefit of us, all of you, all of us together. And you're going to love what is coming out if the VIPs, the advisory council, like the direction, and I'm sure that they will. Then everybody else is going to be ecstatic. Let me just put it that way. So, lot of thought, a lot of effort has gone into all of this, and it just didn't happen by accident, right? This was sometimes you just don't understand the course that everybody's supposed to take, but this is the course that all of us are supposed to be taking, and we're all going to take this journey together. If what we see in the future, even if a fraction of that comes true, there are going to be some very, very happy families, 3, 4, 5 years from now, or maybe even a shorter period of time. So hey, don't forget 9 o'clock East Coast time tonight on this very same channel. Michael Stern and I are going to go through a getting started training, and you don't want to miss that, because there's just a lot of things that have to be done correctly, like validating, like finishing up the Caspio system. If you've got hotspots in there that need to be provisioned, and we're going to go through all of that piece by piece, and we'll answer all your questions. So or as many as we possibly can in the time allotted. So with that, Eric, great job. You and your team have done awesome.
Thank you, guys.
I'm just ecstatic with all the things that this team is going to have at their fingertips, and we're about to wow the world. So that's all I can say. So, hey guys, thank you very much. Rick, go get well.
Yes.
We need you. And with that, guys, we'll see you at 9 o'clock tonight. God bless everybody. Good night, and we'll see you all later. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.